I hear a lot of discussions about the idea of a retainer for consulting services. And one of the things I hear more often than not is they talk about them in terms of being a bucket of hours. The idea being the customer will sign up for some number of hours and then use those as needed, if something comes up. And if you really think through that, that's not really a good way to look at an ongoing professional services relationship. There's a couple of problems with it. One of them is that it implies a call me if you need me mentality, where you have these hours available, Mr. Customer. If you need some help, give us a call, we'll answer the phone. And the other thing about them that can be really problematic is a lot of times when people do these bucket of hours retainers, service providers will say you've got 30 hours a month and what you don't use you can roll over. On the surface that looks really nice from the end customer's perspective, but it's really bad for everybody. And the reason it is this: it's like, one, if the relationship is call me if you need me, those hours are probably not going to get used every month, and they're going to get used in a reactionary fashion. And more than likely, you're going to roll over some hours every month. And then from the service provider's point of view, some months down the road, all those hours come to you, and the service provider doesn't have the staff to do it. If you multiply that across a portfolio of 10, 20, 50, 100 clients, the service provider's got to kind of struggle to stay in business. You can't staff a professional services firm based on ad hoc work like that. It ends up being bad for everybody. The other part of it is the way we address that in our monthly retainers. You use the hours in the month that you're in. It does a couple of things, right? First thing is it says you as the client in this case are making a commitment to make progress. You're saying we're going to do a certain amount of work every month in Salesforce. And on our side, our obligation is, okay, we're going to have resources for you at the right level based on what we've agreed to, and we'll own some of that progress. We'll schedule meetings, we'll have things planned, and we'll drive that work because we've committed to it. You've said we're going to do 40 hours a month, and we've said we're going to do 40 hours a month. And so together we're going to make it happen. And so what you end up with in that environment is all the way around, you've got a commitment to making progress. And to make that work, you put structure around it. It's not a call me if you need me type arrangement. It's okay, we've got a certain number of things we want to work on this next month. What's the priority? And then on a weekly basis, we've got assigned tasks. We're measuring things. We're pushing things, through the cycle from inception to design to implementation to test and deployment. So, the work is managed. So you as the end client can see what's going on. You see the progress, and everything is kind of in the light of day. That approach, it's a little harder to think about. It's kind of like maybe diet and exercise. It's like, I don't want to make those kind of commitments or sacrifices, but if you structure these kind of retainers the right way, they're better for everybody as opposed to going with that bucket of hours concept, which sounds really good and fair on paper, but in practice is bad for the client and it's bad for the service provider both.